approach in the development is rapid application development. Rapid application development concentrates on user involvement and continuous interaction between users and designer. It combines the planning as well as the analysis phase to develop a prototype of a system. RAD uses an iterative process, or called incremental development, that repeats the design, development, and testing steps that are needed based on the feedback from the users. There are some disadvantages of this type of development. It is basically narrow focus, and also it has low quality. It is narrow focus is because it just limits the future development, and also the application are built quickly, so really the quality could be compromised as well. Extreme programming is a recent method for developing software application. XP divides a project into a smaller function, and developers cannot go on the next phase until the current phase is basically finished. Analysts write down the feature that the proposed system should have, called the story or index card. These cards include the time and effort needed to develop these features, and then the organization decides which feature should be implemented and in what order based on the current needs. Each function of the overall project is developed in a step-by-step fashion. At the beginning, it is similar to a jigsaw puzzle. Individually, the pieces make no sense, but when they are combined together, you can see it on a screen and you can kind of get the idea. The XP method delivers the system to the user as early as possible and then make changes that the user suggests. In this type of environment, programmers are usually organized into teams of two, sharing a workstation and working on the same code. This is also normally called paired programming. Each programmer performs the action which the other is not currently doing. Also, in this type of programming, it can help in quick detection and correction of the programming mistake because you have two people looking over each other. XP uses incremental steps to improve a system's quality. SDLC, though, develops the entire system at once, whereas XP is in incremental steps. Like the RAD or RAD, XP uses a software library for reusable piece that can be integrated into the new system. IBM, Chrysler, and Microsoft, they have used this method and they have implemented successfully. It is simple. It can be done in incremental process. It is responsive to changing requirements and changing technologies. It is also helpful in teamwork, and continuous communication among key players is the important part of the XP as well, and also immediate feedback from the users. Now let's look at the agile methodologies, which is also one of the current methods that is being used in the software development. It's very similar to XP in focusing on incremental development process and timely delivery of working software. However, there is a less emphasis on team coding and more emphasis on limiting the project scope. Agile methodologies focuses on setting a minimum number of requirements and turning them into a working product. Agile organization has developed a set of guidelines for this method and emphasis on collaboration between programmers and business experts, maybe on face-to-face as well as working in teams. The goal of this method is a step-by-step approach, and the goal is to respond to the changing needs of the business as well as developing software quickly with a high quality. Agile Alliance has written a manifesto that includes some principles, such as satisfy the customer through early continuous delivery of valuable software, welcome change requirements even late in development, have business people and developers work together throughout the project, Build project around motivated individual. Give them the environment and support they need. Also, attend to the technical excellence. Good design enhanced agility as well. At the regular interval, the team should reflect on how to become more effective and then tune and adjust it according to their how they perform. So that's it for this section. I think we have covered everything in the system implementation part. So some of the key terminologies that maybe we have looked at are agile methodologies, computer-aided system engineering, crowdsourcing, design phase, different type of feasibility, economic feasibility. Also, we talked about external users, extreme programming. We talked about feasibility studies. We also talked about implementation phase, insourcing, outsourcing, internal users, external users, joint application design, legal feasibility, maintenance phase, operational feasibility. We also talked about paired programming, parallel conversion, phase in, phase out conversion, pilot conversion. We talked about planning phase, plunge conversion, proof of concept prototyping, rapid application design, talked about RFP, or we talked about RFI, talked about requirements gathering and analysis phase, schedule feasibility, self-sourcing, as well as cell prototype. Also, we have talked about service-oriented architecture, system development life cycle, as well as technical feasibility. So let's summarize what we have talked about in this whole chapter. So some of the key points that maybe you want to get out of this chapter is system development life cycle is a series of well-defined phases performed in a sequence. Also, planning phase involves formation of task force and conducting feasibility studies. In the requirements gathering and analysis phase, analysts define the problem and then they generate alternative to solve it. In the design phase, analysts choose a realistic solutions that offers the highest payoff for the organization. The detailed solutions are outlined in a document which provides the exact specification for implementing the system, and that's a specification document. Solution is transferred from paper to an action in the implementation phase. The team configures the system and procures the component for it. In the maintenance phase, enhancement and modification to the system is being developed and tested. Hardware and software components are being added or replaced. And software development lifecycle model might not be appropriate in all the situations. So we talked about other methods: service-oriented architecture, rapid application development, extreme programming, as well as agile methodologies that can be used in a set. I hope you had a good time with this chapter, and we will continue next week with our newer chapter, which is chapter 11. Have a good day.